Hello friends, Coach Bob with you, and today we are going to finish up on the You Want to Be a YouTube Star series. Hopefully it's been a little bit helpful to you. I know that there were several comments made on the editing in Final Cut Pro saying, man, you were going awfully fast. It was somewhat confusing. And I understand that. I am constantly learning new tricks. I'm going to show you a few things today. We'll be going on to the computer and doing some screen recordings and things like that. Basically what it's going to be, we're going to look at how to create that subscribe button, how to, put a few tags on it, make it look a little more slick, a little more professional, and those things do make a big difference. Easy things to do, not real time consuming. Just the big thing is you just got to realize that slow is fast, fast is slow. You get better at doing this stuff by doing it. That's how I got better at it. When I went from iMovie to Final Cut Pro, man, the learning curve was super duper steep. It was crazy. I was very, very frustrated, but it worked out pretty quick. But one question I had specifically last week was about wind mitigation. And one of my pet peeves, as I've mentioned in other videos, is wind noise. I hate wind noise. It drives me crazy. When you're riding, it's a necessary evil. So I'm going to post a link right up here to the video that I made on my vlogging helmet and how I put it together. The big thing when mitigating wind noise, you need this little piece right here. That little piece is called a dead cat. Has a little hole in it, slides over the microphone. They make them for big microphones. They make them for small microphones. They make them to cover up the microphones on the GoPros as well. I've seen people get like a little sticky tape and just take a couple of these real cheap ones, put a little sticky tape on these and just kind of tape them over the GoPro microphones. And the results are pretty impressive. There's a guy out there, I think it's Moto Mingy. He rides with an open face helmet and his wind mitigation, very, very impressive. He does a very good job with that. Also, there's this. Now this is not, it's a windscreen, but I would consider this more of a pop filter, that you get when you talk. However, it is also a windscreen and it works very well. These are designed for like the Cardo Pack Talk Bolds, which is what I use for my communication devices in my helmets. But you can take this and you can pop this over any small microphone and it will work fine. Now, when you're recording outside and you're using a GoPro, if you're the only person talking, you can take a microphone, a lapel microphone, or as we call it, a lavalier microphone, and you can hook it up to you, and that will cancel out some of the noise. There are wireless ones. There are individual voice recorders. There are a lot of different ways you can do that. I have been looking at adding that other layer of complication by using a voice recorder. A lot of times you go out, the GoPro, the camera will do great video work, but for some reason it doesn't read the microphone. And it can get very frustrating. If you spend an hour out on the motorcycle doing things and you get home and you don't have audio, you're like, man, I've got to go redo all of that. And on a day where you're kind of pressed for time, that can be a real inconvenience. As a YouTuber, you do need to look further out and try to have things out a week or two in advance. I rarely do that. It's very difficult for me. Right now, we're doing 3, sometimes 4 videos a week. And when you're doing that, that's a lot of editing time. So those are your two main sources of being able to get rid of wind and popping and those little noises right like that. And this is my vlogging helmet where my microphone is inside the chin curtain and it basically looks like that. I am using the purple Panda microphone. So there's the wind issue out of the way. Now, the other thing we're going to talk about today is when you're recording inside as far as sound. I'm using this little MXL microphone. I'm running it through a Focusrite interface into my computer, and I'm recording my voice through this. What I'll do is I'll take this audio file and I will attach it to this video file, and that will be my audio. If not, it sounds like I'm 30 feet away from the camera and it doesn't sound very good. All right, without further ado, we're going to grab some screenshots here. You'll hear me talking and you'll see the computer screen as we do our work. So let's get started on editing some videos so you too can have that super sharp, slick looking YouTube video. All right, so we are recording right now the screen of my computer, and I'm recording my voice through the MXL microphone that you had seen earlier. To do a screen recording, every computer is a little bit different. Just Google whatever you have and it will give you some shortcuts on how to do a screen recording. It's important that you know how to do that because of what we're about to do. So the first thing you're going to do, you want to make a subscribe button. The first thing you're going to do is you're just going to open up your web browser, and you're going to go to YouTube. Okay, so we typed in green screen subscribe button, and we have all of these things come up. We'll go to this one. I think this is the one that I used right here when I made mine. Skip ad. So here we go. Now, some of these come with audio attached to them. The way I'm recording them, because I'm using this microphone, I won't utilize their audio at all. We'll just record one more. These three that we just recorded here, pretty simple. Kind of like that one. I don't think I've ever used that one. That's pretty cool. See what this number 5 is. Okay, I think we have the idea. Thanks for watching. That's pretty cool too. All right. All I've done is I took that video file, I dragged it into my timeline in my Final Cut Pro. And that would be in any, whatever, program you have. And this is all you're going to see is this green screen come up. Now what I'm going to do, let's see if I can fix this to where I can see it here. Browser. Okay. And the reason I did it this way, I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. I have a split screen monitor set up right now, and so that's new. I've just started doing this last week where I have a second monitor and everything. But so now you can see everything on one monitor. If I were to click play right now and I played it on my channel, that's what you would see. All of this numbered, and it would be talking to you and all that where I was talking because I made that screen recording. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick any one of these. You notice they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to want to pick any one of these. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick let's pick one that I don't normally use. All right, number 3 is very simple. So here's what we want to do. We want to cut a piece of the video to where all we have is number 3. We don't want 1, 2. We don't want 4, 5, 6, 7. We just want number 3. So what we have to do, we have to cut it. Now in Final Cut Pro, Command B, that's going to break that video. Okay. So I'm just going to hit play, and you hear me talking in the background because I'm going to pull this audio down so you don't have to hear that. I think I just missed it because I was hearing the audio. So here's number 3. So I'm going to get to where the 3 disappears. Boom, right there. 3 has disappeared. I hit the space bar to stop the line, to stop this line from clicking right here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go Command B. I just cut it. You can see there's a cut now. These two videos are now separate videos. And I'm going to hit play again. And as soon as this little transition is over, okay, let's back it up a little bit. All right, because I don't want to see that. Okay. So we know that number 3, we're just going to let number 3 finish up here. Boom, there it is. That's where it finished. So now I'm going to hit Command B again. Okay. Command B. Now this little piece of video, we have it now. I'm going to drag it over a portion of video over here where I was talking. And I'm going to pull the audio down as I do this, so you don't have to hear it. And when it gets to that, because now this little piece that I cut out is on top, this little piece I cut out now is on top of the video. So when the timeline goes by, whatever's on top, that becomes the primary video. And you can see now that little piece that we cut out is playing over the top of it. And you're like, but coach, it's green and it looks silly. You're right. Now on iMovie, it's just called green screen. On Final Cut, I'm going to full screen this. On Final Cut, it's called, let me get this real quick. Okay. So you're going to come over here to this little button right here that looks like two little windows on top of each other. And this is Effects, and this is called Keying, K-E-Y-I-N-G. So I'm going to click Keying. Now when I drop this keyer on top of this green screen, what's green in there is going to disappear. So let's drop that keying right there on top of that. Now watch as we play it, what it does. So now you just have a subscribe button and a bell. Okay. So that's pretty easy. That's how you make a subscribe button. Now you're saying, well, what about sound? Well, I would have to download a sound or pull a sound and make it work. I'm gonna grab a couple little sounds here. Sound effects. We're gonna look for a click. So here is a click. We're gonna grab this click and we're gonna take that and we're gonna look for a bat. Perfect. Oh, I like that one better. So we're gonna use that. Okay. So now I have these little sounds in here, and when I hit it, the idea is to make those sounds line up like that. And you're saying, man, these files are so small. How am I going to see that little bitty file? The way you're going to do this, you're going to get on your keyboard and you're going to hit the command button and plus. And what that's going to do is enlarge your timeline. So now these files look larger. You can actually see them. So what I want to do is where that click is right there. When that thing hits that button, I want that sound to line up with that. So I'm going to drag it over here. So now let's see what it looks like. And now we want this one to line up with the other. I could get a bell sound if I wanted to, but this will work. So here's what we have. I'll turn it up so you can hear it now. Here we go. Okay, that click sound, the second one was a little bit late, so we'll move it back. Perfect. So now we've created a subscribe button. So let's say we don't like this sound. Let's hit pause here. Say we don't like this sound. We'll delete it. So just click on it, hit the delete button. Now that sound's not there. We'll get a bell. We'll go find a bell. I'm going to drag this over here. Now you can see this bell sound is long. We're not going to use that entire thing. We're going to shorten that up. So now we've got, okay, we want a little more decay than that. Decay is the part of the sound that as it disappears. So we'll do this, move it back here. Okay, make it decay a little longer. And then we can fade the sound out if we want to, like that. So let's see what we got now. There you go. So now you have a subscribe button. It's that easy to make. Now, what I'll do is I will take all of these transitional pieces and I will take them and put them into a video. I actually make a video that has nothing but subscribe buttons and labels and tags, so that when I want to do that, if I hold the command button on my keyboard and I click this piece here, you notice it's highlighted in yellow. Click this one, highlights it in yellow. Click that one, highlights it in yellow. All three of those, if I hit Command C, it will copy that little spot right there. I'm going to copy it now. And let's say I wanted to drop that same thing somewhere else in the video. So Command C copied it. Command V will paste it. We'll go earlier in the video. We'll actually use it. So you'll remember seeing this in the video that you watched earlier, because this is later in the video that you've already watched. So this is what you've already seen. I'm going to hit Command V right now. And there it is. So if I hit play. Yeah, I know that there were several comments made on the editing. Okay. Now, we have a subscribe button, and it looks good. But now what we want to do, we don't like something about it. What do we not like about it? I don't like the fact that it sits right over the top of my face in the middle of the screen. So we're going to fix that. I'm going to click that green screen there. I'm going to come over here to this, and I'm going to click Transform. So you can see on Transform, I've got a little purple thing here. I got a little plus symbol there, and I've got these edges highlighted. When I do this, it's going to make that button smaller. I'm going to come in from the bottom, drag it here. We're going to make it smaller. We're going to keep going till we get to the size I want. And what you want may be different than what I want. That's okay. This little plus button, that's how you move it. So I'm just going to drag it right there. So now, hit play. See what it looks like. I know that there were several comments made on the editing. Perfect. There you go. Nice little subscribe button. So now I copy all this. I can put it anywhere in the video I want to. And it'll look just like that every single time. That's all there is to it. Now, the CB3 that you see in there, every program has their own little generators of things that you can do on your screen. And all you do, you pick the one you want and you drag it and drop it into your timeline. We're going to pick what I call there's a basic 3D. We'll pick a 360 degree. So we're dropping this in here. And I'm going to pull the volume down so we don't hear me talking. All right. And it's going to rotate like this. Now, right now, it just says 360 degree 3D. What I'm going to do, I'll double click that. And now you can see up here where it says rotate 3D. I say what I want it to say. We'll just say CB3. There it is. There again, I can move it. I can manipulate it. I can take that. Right, I can take the screen here. And there's all kinds of little things you can do to it. You can see I can just move it around. But it's very sensitive. So here we go. Let's see what it looks like now. Just dropped right in there. And there's all kinds of little bitty things you can do. Now, these things, I find, they're just fun to play with. They're just fun to play with. And you can move them around pretty easily. You can change colors. And every bit of that is just done over here in this area. This is all about that. Let's make it red. You see right here, all facets right here. So click that. If I click paint, this is my favorite. You'll see this a lot. Use car paint in red. So now it's going to be car paint in red. And then I'll put a drop shadow on it. So a drop shadow you're familiar with. I want it to be seen, so I want 0 opacity, and this will either blur it or make it very defined, and this will make it further or close away. So we'll make it further away, and then we can move where the shadow is. So we'll do it like that. Let's see what this looks like. There you go. So that's how you make some little tags. All right, so there you have it, the final episode of So You Want to Be a YouTube Star. Hopefully you've gotten a little bit out of this. It was very overwhelming when I started this channel. I would ask questions, and because the way things are, I guess, I don't know, whatever, people really didn't want to communicate with me on this stuff. I would watch videos, and there were a lot of gaps, and you just have to kind of fill those things in. It can be very frustrating. So don't get impatient. Take your time, enjoy the experience. It's funny, the channel now is approaching 3,000 subscribers. And there are many people who say, man, 3,000, man, that's a really small channel. And then there are others who go, man, 3,000, that's a massive channel. So it just depends on your perspective and how you see things. The channel is nice, steady, solid growth over time. But Coach Vic and I have had a really good time on this channel. Hopefully you learned a little bit from this, and you now can get busy on a channel of your own, make some tags, do some videos, multiple camera angles. You have some audio tips and tricks. You are good to go. So until next time, do me a favor, go out, buy that motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you are doing it wrong. We'll talk to you real soon.